to be clear, this is going to be a rant. And it's going to be a rant where I've taken no notes. So when I say it's a rant, it really is a rant. Um, I want to give you the past 24 hours of my life in the UAE. Where to begin? Uh, let's go with some highlights before going to some lowlights. Highlights. I interviewed for a job that I really, really, really want back in the United States. And it went well. It went fantastic. There are a couple of other candidates against me. If I get the job, don't get the job. My life, I, I was going for this job without any connection to what's going on right now. I decided in December I wanted to return to Iowa. And so anyhow, this is just a job in Iowa that I know I can do really well and get paid well for it. So anyhow, if you say any prayer for me on anything, say a prayer for me to get this job. But it's okay. That's the highlight. Everything else, um, I don't know where to begin. I appreciate the fact that the President of the United States has admitted that this is the worst case scenario. He said that in the Oval Office. Worst case scenario. But the United States did not actually plan for the worst case scenario. I've never gone to a war college, but I think from everything I've read and trust me, I'm a total World War II geek, where we learned a whole lot of lessons about everything. Yeah, you plan for worst case scenarios. But apparently the United States did not plan for a worst case scenario. Um, at 10:30 last night, I'm at a loft, which if you follow me at all, you know it's my Wednesday night ritual that I go to a loft. And uh and for the record, uh Praveen proved himself to be a god yet again as a bartender. He made a espresso tina, which is my favorite drink. But I also know how hypersensitive I've become to caffeine, that I didn't drink it because I knew I'd be awake all night if I drank it. So I took a sip and passed it over to a friend to let her finish it. But the majority of it went into this bottle, um, which my initial re intention was to wake up this morning and drink it now. But I have enough stuff to do today. It's going back in the freezer. It'll be fine to drink at some point in the future. Um, At 10:30 last night, Carolyn Levitt from the podium in the White House press briefing room said, "We have plans together to help everybody who needs to leave. Every American citizen can leave the UAE within 24 hours. They can leave." So I said to my friends, I'm like, um, I need to peace out. I need to go home and figure out what are the steps that it takes for me to actually get out of here. And what are the steps for me to get out of here? Oh, sorry, my dog just got scared of me doing that. Anyhow, I was trying to bring Cujo in, and Cujo's now gone outside. Good for you, Cujo. Enjoy the wonderful weather outside. Um, what are the steps for me to not only leave this country, but bring my dog with me? That was my goal. Come home, find out what the steps are. So I did what the government of the United States asked me to do. And in doing so, the government of the United States said, check back later. So to say that the United States government did not plan for where we are right now is an understatement. They're so in over their skis. They're so out of their depth. This is not, for me, this is not a partisan thing. If you, I know all of anybody watching this knows that I am a Democrat and that I support Democrats and I always have. I've never voted for a Republican for president. I voted for Republicans on other offices because there are good, anyhow. I've never voted for a Republican for office. So I am a partisan Dem. Okay. This is not partisan. The fact that this is a war of choice and the fact that the President of the United States did this without doing minimum amount of consultation beyond Saudi Arabia um, tells you everything you should know about this. Because uh, I am not speaking on behalf of the government of this country, but I can guarantee you there's nothing about what's going on right now that the UE government is happy about. Guarantee it. This is um I'm going to go so far to say that I would be shocked a year from now if there's still a military base from the US in this country. Because what this country is founded on is commerce and tourism, and the US has now become a liability when it comes to commerce and tourism. Just my opinion, not in any way speaking on behalf of anybody from this government. My hope in the next 24 to 48 hours is that the US government somehow finds out a way to get their head out of their ass and stop doing the Pete Hegseth press conferences where all he does is blame the media. The media is showing how they all they want to do is show bodies of dead American soldiers. Get over yourself, Pete. You should never be in this job. You never, you were a Fox News weekend anchor. That was your only qualification for getting this job. Yes, you once served our military, but dear God, there are 8 million other Americans who are more qualified to do this job than you. And then follow up with Karen Levitt at the White House, where she defends Pete by saying, well, hey, Caitlin Collins, we know you and CNN, you all just, you're looking for gotcha. You want to make Donald Trump look bad. Yeah, no, that's not what journalism is. Caitlin Collins is doing fantastic journalism. There aren't fantastic journalism going against Pete Hegseth because he kicked all the journalists out of the Pentagon. This is the world we live in. And again, this is not partisan. This is not Democrat Steve Kranz saying this. This is somebody who you can, everything I'm saying is objectively true. Now, those are all facts that you are aware of if you're even paying attention at all. Now I'm going to give you some things that you probably are not aware of. Within 100-yard radius of where I live, right here, I am surrounded by dozens of Filipinos. You may not know in American history, but America at one point wanted to go to build an empire. We didn't want to quite be the Brits or the French, but we kind of wanted to have our own empire. And the Philippines was one of there was a moment in our history where the Philippines could have become one of our states. We didn't go down that path, but it is safe to say that the Filipinos wish we had. Everyone that lives around me wishes that the United States had made the Philippines part of our empire, our whatever. They all do. Okay. Over the course of the last couple of days, because I've lived here for a couple of years, I've come to know all of them individually. They've all felt the need to come see me, and as I'm walking Cujo, talk to me personally, blah 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 blah. And it's just it's bewilderment. They're like, "Can you explain what's going on?" And I'm like, "No, I can't. I can't." Except for the fact that I have a president who cares more about his buddies, Netanyahu, that he cares that I'm like, I know for a fact he doesn't care about most Americans. That's partisan dem, but it's really clear that he really doesn't care about any other country in the world except for the ones who are run by autocrats. That's a fact. And so I'm like, I cannot explain to you why he did what he did. And for anybody who sees this and is like, but it was Netanyahu who ordered the whatever. Yeah, no. Donald Trump is Netanyahu's bitch. Period. The President of the United States is taking orders from the Prime Minister of Israel. To be clear, I do not know where this goes from here. What I do know is that I will do everything in my power to get out of this country, not because I don't love this country. The UAE is a fantastic, wonderful country. But Donald Trump has made it unsafe for me to be here. This is a war of choice. And the moment I can safely leave with Cujo, there are certain red lines in my world. I am not getting on a plane. There's also talk of a boat coming in. Anyhow, the rumor. Oh, I have to. Sorry, side mini rant on this. Um, it's bad enough about misinformation that's out there. It's the misinformation that is literally using video that kills me. There is a video out there right now of the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, getting hit by a drone attack. I've seen it shared multiple times. It's not real. So the drone attack on the U.S. consulate in Dubai, basically the U.S. embassy in Dubai, that video is very real. So, I mean, we've now entered a world where it's like when you see something, is that real or is that AI, is a relevant question. And it's the things like the thing I got shared on CNN, BBC. I'm sure you've seen it, or most of you have seen it, of a drone attack hitting a British couple's apartment. That's real. I've met the couple. I know who they are. And also, for the record, it's also really hilarious because it's the most British thing ever. As the drone, as you know, his it's so tragic. Their apartment got hit, but at the end of the video, if you watch the whole thing, he's like, I was just going for my tea, and I was like, I was like, can you be more British? Can you be more British? Anyhow, let that go, Steve. Let that go. Um, I will do everything I can to get out of this country with Cujo. And I'm not showing you my apartment right now, but trust me, I am unpacking and repacking because I've had a couple of different moves, and I'm like trying to figure out what do I want to take with me and what do I not want to take with me, and have that shipped to me later at a later date and so forth. I will be out of this country as soon as I possibly can. Um, and I just my I've gone on long enough. My hope is that the Trump administration stops their partisanship and bring in experts and trust experts, because everything I've seen up to this point is that Donald Trump is only listening to people who tell Donald Trump what he wants to hear. I want Donald Trump to listen to some people who are telling him what he doesn't want to hear. Things can end quicker if that happens. The US stock market is predicting that's exactly what's going to happen. That's why the stock market has not tanked, and that's why the price of oil did not spike as much as it legitimately should have. For all the different infrastructure that has already been taken out, the price of oil should be higher right now. This is something I follow closely. I can't believe the price of oil is, last I checked, it was $74 a barrel. It should be way higher than that. I have no idea why it's not higher than that. Let that go, Steve. Let that go. Um, yeah. Anyhow, it is Thursday, March 5th, 2026. This is my update. I appreciate everybody who's reaching out in support and rant over.